Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Miguel got amnesia during the events of Cobra Kai Season 3? So in this timeline, the events of Cobra Kai Season 2 would still happen, the school fight would still happen in this timeline, Miguel and Robbie would be fighting on top of the stairs, and much like in the original timeline, Miguel would pin Robbie on the ground, and he would still decide to show mercy, but much like in the original timeline, Robbie would get mad, and he would continue attacking Miguel, and he would still kick Miguel off the balcony, Miguel would still be paralyzed in this timeline, and he would still be in his coma, and Robbie would still go to juvie. Chris would still kick Johnny out of Cobra Kai. The events of Season 3 would continue. Miguel would eventually wake up from his coma, but in this timeline, Miguel wouldn't remember who he was, and he would have memory loss. Everyone at the hospital would be shocked, and Carmen would be heartbroken. Carmen and Rosa would try to help Miguel remember who he was, but they would have no luck, and they would inform Miguel of everything that happened. Miguel would be heartbroken hearing the news, and he wouldn't know what to think. Sam would still visit Miguel in this timeline, and she would hear that Miguel had amnesia, so she would introduce herself to Miguel, and Miguel would be happy to meet her. Sam would tell Miguel that it was all Tori's fault, and that she started the school fight. This is when Hawk would show up, and he would see Sam talking to Miguel, and he wouldn't like that she was talking to Miguel, so Hawk and Sam's interaction would be very similar. Those events would continue. Hawk would introduce himself to Miguel, and he would tell him all about Cobra Kai, and how he was All Valley champion, but Miguel wouldn't want anything to do with karate in this timeline. The events of Season 3 would continue. Johnny would try visiting Miguel, but Miguel wouldn't want anything to do with Johnny. He would say that his mom told him not to talk to him. Carmen would still blame Johnny for everything, and Johnny would be heartbroken. Since Miguel didn't want to talk to Johnny, Johnny would spend more of his time on Robbie, so Johnny would visit Robbie in juvie, so Robbie and Johnny would start rebuilding their relationship, and in this timeline, Johnny would be the one to give Robbie the advice to strike first, so Robbie would still fight Sean in this timeline. Those events would stay the same. The money for Miguel's surgery would be raised, so Miguel would start his recovery process, but he wouldn't want anything to do with his previous life. Miguel would only want to be with Carmen and Rosa. Robbie would still be released from juvie, but in this timeline, he would go with Johnny. Cobra Kai and Miyagi would still have the rivalry, but Miguel, Johnny, and Robbie wouldn't be involved. Miguel and Robbie would see each other around the apartments, but Miguel wouldn't know who he was, and Robbie would keep his distance. And without Miguel and Sam, the All Valley would still remain cancelled, and in this timeline, there wouldn't be a house fight. And that is where I'm gonna end part 1. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Miguel got amnesia during the events of Cobra Kai Season 3? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.